how do I go about finding them, expressing the true nature of my intellect, talents, spirituality in the healthiest and most productive manner? How does my Jewish faith and my understanding of its tradition and responsibilities relate to my choice and decision that, while made presently, will also affect the rest of my life? At the age of 13, I faced incredible challenges to my sense of self, my purpose in life, and of course the expression of my Jewish faith. My 13th year marked the true coming of age into manhood. Just as in the traditional bar mitzvah suggests, in fact it was the beginning of my journey through hell and back. One working English title for my book, The Hell of Auschwitz and Dachau, Young Boy Fights for His Survival, is rather revealing, yet I was fighting for more than just my survival. I believe my message is especially relevant for all of you. You who are blessed with gifts of being born and growing up in a free country. My hope is that you will not take the opportunities for granted. At the age of 13, I was uprooted from my village in Hungary, and my family, my mother, sister, and stepfather, were sent to the Hungarian-Ukrainian border for all practical purposes to be eliminated by the Nazis and the Hungarian Nazi sympathizers, of which there were no shortage. The premise for the destruction as Jews, we were not Hungarian citizens anymore, although my great-grandparents were born in Hungary. The question of our citizenship was the first great lie spread to humanize and isolate the Jews of my village. And my family was shipped to the mountains of the border of Hungary and Ukraine, a beautiful region, to be killed right then and there. But the advancing Russian troops necessitated that we be sent back to our village again. Upon returning, my village wasn't the same. Life had been transferred by the war and conditions were terrible. The Nazis had taken everything. I remember the Jewish storekeepers opening up their stores. It was a free-for-all, with everyone running around and taking whatever they wanted. As much as a rebellious teenager might find this chaos appealing on some level, I had a peculiar feeling. I knew everything was all wrong, and the Nazi propaganda was starting to take hold. My psyche, my mind was poisoned. I began to accept my inferiority. Once home again in my village, I was forced to attend a Catholic school, and it was there I fell in love with a young Catholic girl named Julie. She was also the daughter of my teacher. She told me, "My parents don't want me to look at you." The parents were both school teachers, the intellectual elite of the village. Whatever they had bought into the Nazi lives or were just trying to survive themselves, there would be no sympathy for me. Yet not everything in my story is about the Holocaust. The love and the confusion of a young boy knew no boundaries, and I thought of Judith for many years afterward. Finally, to see her again in 1995, the reunion was the ending of a great love in sadness. As old age and infirmity had taken their toll on her. Her family later suffered their own tragedies at the hands of the communists. Judith's brother was imprisoned for 15 years before escaping to live in France. And yet another betrayal at the hands of one own countrymen, although the concentration camps were kept secret and no one knew what was to come at Auschwitz and Dachau. The complete abandonment and betrayal of the Hungarian Jews, who had been such a vital part of the fabric of life in Hungary, is still difficult to imagine. Fast forward to the Hungarian ghetto and its initial stages of my journey to Auschwitz. Some brief passages of time, and my family and so many others were sent away in oxcarts. The bells of the Greek Orthodox Church rang, and my descent into hell truly begun. The brutality always emphasized. I remember a gentle rabbi from my hometown being beaten so terribly later in life that Rabbi's grandson, Willy Zierberg, my friend, would make it to the USA to pursue a career in opera. I recall the children of my hometown giving Willy pennies to sing. His voice was so beautiful. I, just before being sent to Auschwitz, also remember vividly two young SS guards in the ghetto, just teenagers themselves, beautifully dressed in their SS uniform with their German shepherd dog, not unlike the dog I loved and left behind in my village. What was so different about these teenagers than myself? Did they not breathe the same air? The uniform, the lies, the terror, the brutality, and even the sheer power of the military-industrial machine of the Nazi Empire were not enough in the end to defeat me. I survived to tell my story, they did not. I have found wholeness and healing over 65 years later by returning to Germany and speaking to high school students, young people like yourself, those who are interested in history and searching for truth and not afraid to face the action of their ancestors. Through my travels in the last year or so, I have found unimaginable peace and meaning in my life. My experiences with young people in today's journey have been truly transformative. Remember, the future is in your hands. Every one of you has a great capacity to change the world, sometimes through the smallest acts of kindness. My journey to healing began by wanting to find a German woman who gave me bread and another who gave me milk. Those simple but daring acts of compassion fueled my search for healing from the greatest horror imaginable, to turn those experiences into something beautiful. Remember, your perception of strength and weakness, superiority and inferiority are not always accurate. Don't always trust the impressions of what the material world around you considers powerful and valuable. Not at age 13 nor at any age. Rather, place your trust in the rising human spirit, universal yearning for freedom and the expression of beauty, love and truth. I'm living through proof that nightmares can be transformed into the most beautiful dreams. Thank you.